Hey folks, thank you for being here. Hopefully you'll have a good holiday. It's coming up Thanksgiving. We're going to have a great beer here today that I think is going to go real well with turkey. I can't wait to try it. It's Czechvar from the Czech Republic. It says it's a lager, but you can bet something like this in the Czech Republic is going to be more like a Pilsner. So we're going to crack into that. We're going to see what makes it tick, and we're going to do it on Okay, folks, thank you for coming back. We do have our Czechvar. That is our Czechoslovakia or Czech Republic now. Beer from the Czech Republic. It is a lager. It's probably going to be more like a Pilsner. But we are going to crack it here in just a few seconds, and we're going to see what makes it tick. I'm also going to have a little bit more information on Czechvar. Now, it's really interesting that it says Czechvar. Okay, because the last part about it, and I don't know how true this is, I will research that. Czechvar, there's a lot of beers, a lot of good brews out there that have var at the end for an interesting reason, but I'm going to see what I can do to find that out. But Czechvar. Now, again, it should be a lager. It should be a Pilsner. If it's anything like a Pilsner, that's fantastic because, you know, the Czechs, they actually do some great Pilsners. Pilsner Urquell is one example of a fantastic Pilsner that if you ever get a chance to drink it, and it's very prominent in the United States. You can get it just about anywhere. I actually saw it on tap the other night, which I thought was really kind of cool. I said, wow, you get that on tap. I took a little taste of it, and it was, of course, excellent. And it is kind of the flagship or the standard to Czech Pilsners, okay? So Pilsner Urquell, if you can get that. But Czechvar, we're going to taste this. We're going to see what makes it tick. So let's go ahead and open it, okay? Pardon me there. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it. Now I expect a good amount of gas release on this one. Okay, so we're going to be very careful. Okay, maybe not as much as what I thought, but not bad. Okay, it gave me a little bit of a pop there. That was good. I'll put my little cap over here. I want to put my little caps over here because I want to kind of make them like a decoration there. How about that? Heck, I can't even get that there, but okay. All right, so now, as mentioned before in previous episodes, I like to drink my Pilsners in something like either a Pilsner glass, which is kind of tall and fluted like that, or a Stange. Stange, of course, is the tall, straight glass. Hopefully you can see it. I believe that'll help you out there. But the tall, straight glass. It looks like a highball glass, but it's actually pretty tall. Now, this one goes up to a half liter, if I'm not mistaken. We don't have half liter. We have 11.2 ounces, which is about 330 milliliters. But we're going to pour this. We're going to pour this. I'm actually going to pour it off to the side here and then pour it a little bit up. We're going to see how much of a head it gets. I expect a lot of good, nice, beautiful, white, creamy foam. I'm going to pour it in. It's kind of like champagne. And now I'm going to pour it. I'm going to get it a little bit more glass proud. And as we can see here, actually, I'm going to turn to the side here, that it is coming up foam. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Nice, creamy, white foam. Very fine bubbles. We'll talk about that in the appearance in just a few minutes. Oh, look at there. Real glass proud. I do pour a good beer here, I tell you what. Anyhow, this is Czechvar. It's a good straw color, okay? I would say about a 3 or 4 on the SRM scale. I'm going to see if I can give you a little bit more of the color to it. So if you can see it through the glass, and if you can see it reflected off the paper here, you can see that it's a nice golden color. And of course, how much head? We start about here, and we go all the way up to the top, or at least when I poured it, it went all the way up to the top. And beautiful, nice, creamy, and I can smell it already. Oof, goodness. Nice, creamy head. Now, the cool thing about these glasses, this and a Pilsner glass, is that because they're thin and they are raised like this, they push that aroma up and it gets out into the air and it gets into your nose and it makes you feel real good. You can smell it. You can just absolutely almost taste the air. And that's the difference between just a regular mug for drinking beer or these Pilsner and Stange glasses, which actually concentrate that flavor to you. But we're going to go through the 5 categories. Obviously, the aroma, the appearance, the taste, which is what we're drinking beer for, the mouthfeel, and of course, the overall impression. Now, I can smell this good beer from here, and it is just amazing. And it is a Pilsner. So Pilsners are going to be a little bit more along the line of spicy. They're not floral, but you're going to taste the hops. The hops is going to predominate. The lightness of the color of the beer here tells me that this beer is made with lighter malt that has not been darkened like you would toasting. Okay, so I don't really want to taste any bready, any good toasty flavors to it, any nutty flavors to it. What I want to taste is pretty much straight malt and straight hops, and I do definitely want it to be a little bit on the dry side. Okay, so let's go ahead and we've got our aroma. Yes, I can absolutely just smell that wonderful hops in there. And these are going to be more noble hops too. I will have more information on it coming up shortly. If I can find the types of hops that are in there, I'll tell you. But I can imagine they're going to be along the same lines as your noble hops. Saaz, Tettnanger, Mittelfrüh, Hallertau. Those are going to be the ones that are going to be used in this beer. Now, they grow a lot of hops out there in the Czech Republic and in Poland and Germany. They grow those hops and they grow them specifically for these types of beers. Okay, so I can smell it. Ooh, goodness. And once you smell this type of hop, it sticks with you. It stays with you. You remember it's a nasal memory type thing. Just sitting in the Prague. You just sit in Prague, just drinking this beer all day long. That's what's going to take you to, and that's what you want. You want that visual experience. You want that mental. You want that nasal. You want that oral experience to come through. And I believe this is not going to disappoint. So, very hoppy. Noble hops. Again, if you've never smelled noble hops, you will smell it when you eat Pilsner Urquell, this Czechvar. And there's a couple of other beers that I'm going to introduce you to that have that same aroma to them. And the appearance, well, we've talked about it. The appearance is a nice golden straw color. It's not light, but it's not dark. It's kind of 3, 4, maybe 5 SRM. The foam, of course, was already up at the top. We saw that earlier. And now it's receded, but it's still there in the glass. And it's still coming up from the bottom. I've got little bitty bubbles, little tiny bubbles down at the bottom there. I'm channeling my inner Don Ho. For those of you who don't know, was a Hawaiian singer. The bubbles are coming up, and they're still effervescing. They're still creating that head around there, and that's beautiful. Because as we drink our beer, we're going to find that as we move our glass, it's going to start to, release that gas. It's also going to start to make a little bit of Brussels lace, which we have a little bit of. We don't have a lot. And so I'm going to see if I can show you that. Maybe I can zoom into that. But that's going to be our Brussels lace. A little bit right there, a little bit on the back end here. So if you ever get a beer, remember that's not the judgment of a good beer. It just is what it is. Now, let's get into the taste. Actually, now this could be just my taste buds right now because I haven't had anything else. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. It has the hop, flavors to it. Naturally, I'm going to have hop in there. But believe it or not, I have just ever so slight bit of green apple. Now, that's not bad. It shouldn't have fruity flavors necessarily, but when you have a good surprise like that, it makes it even better. Yes, absolutely. Now, I don't taste a lot of the hops. I mean, a lot of the malt in there. I'm not supposed to taste a lot of the malt. The malt is there to produce the sugar, give us our color, give us a little bit more body. The hops are really going to be what's predominant in this style of beer, and it is a Pilsner. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that. It doesn't say it on the bottle, at least not that I can see here. It says brewed with whole cone Saaz hops. There you go. Moravian malt and natural soft water in our brewery in the Czech Republic. Saaz hops. Remember I said it's one of the 4 noble hops is Saaz. Absolutely. Can taste those hops. Oh, it's so delicious. It's so delicious. A true Pilsner, a true Czech Republic Pilsner. On the same plane as Pilsner Urquell, which again, that is one of the standards that people go by when they talk about Pilsners. Lovely. Now, let's talk about the mouthfeel. It is dry. Okay, it's supposed to be dry. It's supposed to effervesce in your mouth, cleanse your palate between sips, and give you that nice explosion of flavor that goes up through your mouth, goes up through your nose, hit your palate there really, really well. It's very soft. It's not harsh, okay, but it's present, and it allows that hop flavor to invade your mouth in a very nice, beautiful, subtle way. Not a metallic taste. You remember I mentioned some beers have this slightly metallic taste to them, and that's not bad. It just is what it is when it comes to this beer. It's not a metallic taste, not an off flavor, not a hard flavor. It does say soft water. Naturally soft water, and especially in the Central European countries like that, they have some of the most excellent types of natural water. Okay, I'm sure they filter it. It's not going to have any bad bacteria in there, especially when you have alcohol. That kills a lot of the bacteria anyway. Okay, so there's no harmful pathogens in there. And hopefully you can see. I'm going to show this again. A little bit of Brussels lace, right, around the edge there. I have some of the back here, but right around the edge there, kind of like a question mark, right? A little bit of that Brussels lace. It doesn't coat your mouth. It doesn't make you feel cloyingly sweet. It doesn't go, I gotta get some water. But if you did drink this, you're probably going to want to drink a little bit of water to it, because this is, well, it's 5% alcohol, so that's not bad. Okay, you can drink a number of these. But the mouthfeel definitely lends to the style of beer. Dry. That's what we wanted. We wanted dry, a little bit spicy too, by the way. Anyhow, overall impression, I mean, it's a Czech Pilsner. You just can't beat those. The closest you would ever get to anything other than a Czech Pilsner is going to be some of the Pilsners that they have in Canada. They actually do make relatively good Pilsners. Molson, those types of beers, maybe in Northern Europe, definitely in Germany. They're going to have Pilsners there too. Poland, okay, I'm going to be doing a review on a Polish beer that is a Pilsner. Okay, I've actually had it before, and that was exceptional. But this right here, yes. Overall impression, if you can find it, which you can, I've got a little beer shop near me that has all sorts of international beers. It's just the most lovely place, and this is where I found this, and this was inside the cooler, and so I picked it up. I said, hey, it's a Czech Pilsner. Let's go review it. And now for the beer specs.
Since 1895, Czechvar has brewed the finest Czech lager in the world, made using local ingredients and aged to perfection in our cellars in České Budějovice, South Bohemia. In 1265, dynasties rising and falling and expanding, the royal houses of Europe battling for territory, and one beer-loving ruler, Ottokar II, King of Bohemia, founds the town of Česká Budějovice. In June of 1410, another king of Bohemia, Wenceslaus IV, not the famous one of Christmas, became worried about the integrity and quality of their beer. Bohemia boasted the perfect climate and fertile soils needed to make the great tasting beer, and so respected was the Česká Budějovice brewing industry that other brewers from other countries were muscling in. Thankfully, King Wenceslaus was a fan of excellence, and he extended a law that meant no foreign malt houses, breweries, or pubs could be located within a mile of Česká Budějovice and its surroundings. The quality of the brewing and the popularity of the beer from Česká Budějovice meant many people wanting to trade on the town's reputation and natural resources flocked here. In 1895, the Czech Republic was still part of Austria-Hungary. The Czech brewers weren't happy brewing under a German-run brewery, so the Czech breweries sourced the money to merge together and form a Czech brewery, owned by the Czech people. The Czech Joint Stock Brewery was founded and began brewing beer with quality Czech ingredients and new technology on the same spot they still do today. Fast forward to 1967, when Czechvar became a national corporation as successor to the original Czech Joint Stock Brewery and the Civic Brewery Organization. In 1996, Czechvar was able to export over 100 million liters of beer around the world, and today remains a benchmark for Pilsner beer lovers everywhere. Czechvar Czech Lager. Style: Pilsner. Hops: whole cone Satz hops. Malt: Moravian malt. Yeast: special heritage lager yeast. ABV: 5%. IBU: 22. SRM: 5.
Thank you, folks. Hey, I love doing those beer specs. I hope you learned something. I know I did. About the Czechvar Czech Republic Pilsner. Lovely little beer here. And yes, if you ever get a chance to get it, definitely go get it. It's wonderful. Now, before we go any further, remember, subscribe, okay, right? Ring that notification bell. Get notified as to the next exciting episode of Don't Drink This Beer. As well, it only takes a few seconds. Reach down there, give us a thumbs up. Give us a little bit of love, okay? Helps us grow the channel. We want to bring great content to you, and we really appreciate you being here. Now, I did want to say, if you get a chance, remember the beer review logbook. I don't make any money off this, folks, so, but it's $8.99 off of Amazon, allows you to record your experiences at wherever you go to drink your fine beers. If you ever get it, the Total Wine Total Guide to Beer. This is an old copy. They may still have it. I know they have it online, but not in PDF form. So I've got to talk to them about that. But if you ever get this, do absolutely. It's a beautiful little Bible, okay? If you're ever in the upstate of South Carolina, remember the Carolina Ale Trail. And I did look to see if there were any more ale trails around the area. Unfortunately, I don't see any. This is the only one that's of that nature, and it is upstate. But you can mark down, if you're ever in the area, all the breweries that you go to and where they are and your experiences to them. It's a great little guide there. If you are going to go to a beer venue, if you're going to do a tasting of some sort, definitely print this out. This is the beer review. So there's a beer score sheet from the Beer Judge Certification Program. It lists all the categories here, plus any off flavors. It's going to help you out quite a bit, that if you go and you drink a beer and it just doesn't taste right, at least it'll help you diagnose it. Paper, fold it, print it, put it in your pocket, bring a pen, write your experience down on that paper. A lovely little thing. I love to have that with me. Now, in the meantime, I definitely want to say thank you for being with us today. Thank you for showing up. And remember, subscribe. Okay? Definitely subscribe. Ring that notification bell. Get notified for the next episode of Don't Drink This Beer. Don't miss out, because we are going to have some really great ones coming up too. And reach down there. Give us a thumbs up. Give us some love. let us know that you want to see more. And if you have any comments, leave them in the description or down below in the comment section. Okay, it helps us grow the channel in the sense of we want to know what you want to see. If there's a beer you want us to review, if there's something like that that you want us to do, if we can find it, we'll review it. Okay, and we'll give you our impression of that beer. Now, as they always say, Slancha, Prost, Chin Chin, Kanpai, Salud, and of course from America, cheers. Gosh, I wish I had some nice, beautiful Czech cheers. So closest is Prost. Anyhow, peace, love, and beer. Have a great Thanksgiving.